The midterm elections just 3 weeks away, and President Biden pulling as many levers as he can to boost Democrats' chances of retaining control in Washington. And today he's tackling an issue that we've been talking about for months that everybody cares about, and that, of course, the price of gas.
And it's going up again. This morning, the national average price for a gallon of gas is $3.85, the highest in California at nearly $6, the lowest in Georgia. $3.24.
Now, still, gas prices have significantly dropped since the summertime, but prices are creeping up in the last month and are still higher than last year. So the president is reaching into one of the few inflation tools he has at his disposal. National correspondent Haley Bull is in Washington, D.C. with a look at the president's plan. Good morning, Haley.
Hey, good morning. The president is reaching once again into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, authorizing another release in an effort to help with market stability and prices, especially in the wake of Putin's invasion of Ukraine, while at the same time highlighting the rate of decline of gas prices with just about 3 weeks until the midterm. Now, the president specifically is expected to announce a release of 15 million barrels to finish the 180 million barrel release he authorized earlier this year. And he'll also signal that they could call for further releases depending on conditions this winter. Now, despite another release from the reserve, the administration contends there is still plenty remaining in the reserve with about 400 million barrels. The president will also renew a more critical stance towards companies and call on them to pass on lower prices to the consumers. Senior administration officials say the outside industry profit margins are higher than they should be, and that is causing a higher price per gallon. The president will call out that the profit margins are, quote, inappropriate. Now, this, of course, comes after OPEC Plus's decision to cut oil production, a move the White House really saw as profiting towards Putin. Now, according to the AAA, gas prices are down from last week, but still up from a month and a year ago. Some experts say this latest announcement is really a short-term solution. Listen.
I'll say this, that the administration's in a tough position. That there's not that many levers that they can pull to influence world oil prices. The use of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is one of those levers. It's not a very strong one. So while I'm not surprised that they're going to try it, I don't expect to see a large impact from those releases.
Now, an executive from the American Petroleum Institute, which is a trade association representing the oil and natural gas industry, tells us, quote, the reserve was established to reduce the impact of severe supply disruptions, not as a long-term solution to the economic pain Americans are feeling at the pump. We urge the administration to recognize that short-term policymaking is no substitute for the long-term strategies needed to encourage American energy production. Now, with this announcement just ahead of the midterms, the White House is really framing this as part of the president's efforts to lower prices for families, contending gas prices have fallen at the fastest rate in more than a decade over the summer. Now, with gas talks today and his abortion speech yesterday, the president is really honing in on election messages while outside of the campaign trail, while Republicans continue to criticize the administration over the economy, over the inflation. Polls show both the economy, the inflation, and abortion are among the top issues for voters. Listen to what the White House press secretary had to say.
The president's going to continue to talk about issues that matter to the American people, and abortion is one of them. Majority of the American people disagree with the decision that the Supreme Court made, the Dobbs decision. That is, a majority of the people disagreed with that. When it comes to the economy, the president has made it very, very clear. When it comes to inflation, it is his number one economic priority, and he is doing everything that he can to make sure that we lower prices for the American people.
And today, the president is also expected to signal the administration's intent to refill the reserve when the market prices are right. Now, when it comes to other options here, senior administration officials did not indicate a stance on banning fuel exports, which is one thing that has been kind of floating around. People have questioned, except to say that all tools are on the table. Rob?
All right, national correspondent Haley Bull reporting. Thank you, Haley.